So, stolen some training from Tony Robbins for today, and it's all about basically how do you level up your game by looking at other people. Really good exercise. I can't remember what I found. It might have been an Unleash the Power Within session I went on with Tony, but really useful exercise for you to just make those marginal tweaks to improve your game, improve your personal life, improve your professional life, and overall, hopefully, find something where you can study somebody to help you build more and therefore earn more. Training part 2 is something that I took, I can't remember where I got this from, but it's probably from Tony Robbins. And so one of Tony Robbins' advice is to focus on learning from people that you perceive that it's not about wanting to be that person, it's about looking at their traits and utilising their traits and bringing that into your own game. So I'll give you an example of, for a clean example of all recruiters will probably have watched Suits at some point, if you haven't. So, for example, you could just look at Harvey Specter, albeit a fictitious character. You could focus on Harvey Specter's closing ability. You could focus on Harvey Specter's attire. And you could focus on Harvey Specter's, something I've written here, which I don't know, knowledge. So if you think about his ability and his knowledge and understanding of law, albeit Mike pulls his pants down and slaps his ass in the interview, but that could be an element of what you look at. So what I want you to think of is people that you admire, that you could begin to think, how could I gain the particular trait that they have? So Tony Robbins looks at and recommends basically looking at different areas of your life that you want to improve, and then putting that, then utilising an individual in order to go, how can I take influence from this individual? It's not about being that person, it's about studying that individual of how they've got to that level of success or how they've got to what they've got to in order for you to go, right, I could get to the same level as Harvey Specter. I could have the same level of intensity as Michael Jordan. I could have the closing ability of Harvey Specter. I could have the X, Y, and Z of whatever it is. You know, if you want to outlast things, James Milner, I believe he's just got injured, but James Milner's still playing in the top flight of the game, and he must be nearly 40 now. Yeah, he's not playing every game, but his life is go home, drink a cup of tea, get to bed on time, and sit with his cats, right? And that's James Milner's life, and he gets taken the piss out of in Liverpool, but he's still playing at the top level when players like Wayne Rooney, you know, I don't know what age Wayne Rooney retired, but he just turned into an absolute plop. So if you think about how do you look at the traits of individuals that you want to get them their skill set, and then you can begin to study them for that particular skill set and how they carry it out. It could be that you admire Harvey Specter's attire and therefore you dress yourself on the basis of Harvey Specter. What kind of suits does he wear? What kind of brands does he wear? Etc., etc. So that's what I want you to think about now is who could be that? If it's health, who could be your absolute health guru? Who's your fitness guru? So for mine, for training is James Smith. So I believe in his methodology and I think he's phenomenal. I've bought all of his books. I've not read two of them, but I've read his one on fitness. And you know, I've watched a lot. I watch a lot of his content because of what I find is you can go online and find 1,000 different ways to build muscle, or lose weight. Whereas if I follow one person to be able to find that. From a health perspective, I also bring in Andrew Huberman there, which is more the muscle, more the science behind whether it be fasted state, whether it be when to consume a meal, whether it be sleeping and what actually works and what doesn't work, because he's a scientist, and therefore I'll go, is it worth me wearing blue light glasses? It does make a little bit of an improvement, but not a lot. Is it worth me doing ice baths? Yeah, there is actual huge thing. Do you do a cold shower straight after a muscle workout? Well, the science tells you not to do that. It tells you to have a warm shower. So that kind of level of just those marginal gains I can get, rather than listening to the whole bloody market and following Joe Wicks and following James Smith and following all these different guys. So it's how do you gain from one person? And that one person may change in the future. And it might be that you gain the knowledge that you need from that individual, and then you go and transfer to one other person. David Goggins is an absolute phenomenal guy for mindset. Like if you think you're working I don't mean working hard as in working late until X, Y, and Z, but if you think you're pushing yourself, then don't listen. Then I'll listen to David Goggins, and it's like, whatever you're doing right now is not good enough. Like, that guy is running ultra marathons on 2 broken ankles, and he's managing to get through. Right? They've done tests on that man's cartilage, and he hasn't got any. So when he runs bone on bone, right, in his knees. And that guy does at least 7 kilometers every day, and that's his rest day. If he's having a rest day, he'll do 7K, right? And he'll still train. The guy's an animal. So it's how do you think, right, it's not like you have to be that person. I'm certainly not running 7K on my rest day, but it's how do you take that inspiration from that individual? How do you mirror an elements of their character, or mirror an elements of their dress, mirror an elements of their personality, so you can go, how do I do this? Because one thing that Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. Nobody's working out how to get to X, Y, and Z on their own. Success leaves clues. If you want to know how to be a top biller, study a top biller. You know, there's plenty of guys out there. I'm going to forget the guy's name. It's the £1 million biller that does tech and software. But follow that. If you want to get good at leadership, then follow a guy in leadership. You know, I've got currently trying to find there's Malcolm Gladwell, who's got an impressive leadership. There's who's kind of seen as a lot. There's Ken Blanchard, who I've built a lot of my management principles on, and studied him heavily with regards to the management type of principles, if I split management and leadership apart. And then, you know, a lot of what I didn't know at the time, but now I've read his book, guys like Maslow, which most people will know from his hierarchy of needs. Well, Maslow's actually written a book on management and building culture, on leadership and building culture, etc., and being able to develop that. So that's what I'm giving you the ideas on. I've got a huge list of this as a spreadsheet, and then names against it. And in fact, it's in my, not a spreadsheet, it's in my book. And I've got names against that. And there's certain individuals that I'm like, right, how can I follow this person? How can I, study that individual to find success? You could list out hundreds of people in all different aspects, but all I want you to think about is 3 people with 3 particular aspects, and focus on those individuals to bring their aspect into your game. Because if you can learn and study those individuals and go all in on them, bring that aspect into your game. It doesn't mean you're going to be running 7K on your rest days, but it might mean that instead of doing nothing, you do an extra 1,000 steps because you listened to James Smith and he told you that it's not actually what you do in the gym, it's what you do during the day, and that your basal metabolic rate is what's more important, because you'll burn 2/3 of what you do just on living. So if you can carry more muscle mass, if you can do more steps, then that will increase it. And that's where you take away from that, then you make an improvement in your life, and that's a consistent change. If it's that you want to feel more confident and you want to be more confident, then stop dressing like you dress right now, or start dressing like Harvey Specter, because that man loses confidence. Yes, he's a fictitious character, but what can you learn from that character that brings it through? And if it's not him, who else could you learn from in order to that oozes confidence and demonstrates that you can be like, right, how does this person communicate? When they're on video, somebody you can get easy access to. There's no point choosing somebody like, I don't know, one of the Rothschilds who never does any kind of public, or some of them do, but mostly none of the family do public speaking. There's a reason for that, right? But pick somebody that's quite a prominent figure that you could follow, and therefore you could learn from them by watching, studying them, and understanding what aspect that you'd like to bring into your game. Again, I'd like to reiterate, it's not about being that person, it's about choosing a trait and bringing that and increasing that level within your person.